What's up guys, it's Carter and I'm back with another video. Now when it comes to Titan Fitness, everybody has an opinion. Some people think they're total crap, others think that they can be a great value for their home gym and their needs. I'm somewhere a little more in the middle and I do own a lot of their things. Do I think they're the best brand? No, they do have some quality issues and customer support issues. However, if you're selective on what you buy from them, they can be a great value. So if you're interested in finding out what I own from Titan and what I recommend and what I don't, stay tuned and we'll get into it. Before we get started, I just wanted to share a couple polls that I put out. First one was, what are you guys' thoughts on Titan Fitness? And it wasn't very surprising that the majority of you guys thought they were either hit or miss or a great value. The second poll I put out kind of surprised me a little bit. How many Titan Fitness products do you own? 44% of you guys don't own anything from Titan Fitness, or at least the ones that participated in the poll. 42% of you guys own 1 to 5 items from Titan Fitness. And then I'm kind of all alone in that 5% that own 10 plus items from Titan Fitness. Now when I'm considering buying something from Titan Fitness, there are 3 general guidelines I like to follow. Number 1, is it a reputable item? Are the reviews overwhelmingly positive on the website and on, say, YouTube? Number 2, is there an updated version of that item? If it's a version 2 or 3, it'll have a V2 or a V3 next to. This usually means they put out a crap one before and then they've kind of updated and fixed some of the problems that the first product had. And number 3, I tend to stick to basic things that are hard to mess up when it comes to Titan Fitness. I think that's where the real value is. Now, even if the item does meet all the criteria, you still run the risk of receiving an item that has some quality control issues. And then you're stuck dealing with the customer support. Now, I've had some really good experiences with the customer support where they sent out another item the same day. And then I've had other experiences where nothing got resolved and it was just a terrible experience. Now, before I get a bunch of angry Titan Fitness fans in the comments, I'm not saying don't purchase Titan products for some of the bigger pieces like machines. I think they can be a great value. However, for my gym and my small space, I prefer to go with more quality pieces over some of the budget pieces that Titan offers. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into all the purchases that I've made from Titan Fitness, and starting off with the SSB, Safety Squat Bar version 2. This is one of their better pieces and probably their most popular and best-selling piece. It may or may not be a direct copy of the Elite FTS SS yoke.
It's not that fucking hard to tell.
All right, well, let's not get Dave Tate all riled up. But whether you decide to go with Titans or the Elite FTS, you'll be able to perform squats, good mornings, and Hatfield squats because of the way the bar will balance on your shoulders, as well as JM presses if you take off the handles. Now, there are a lot of options when it comes to SSBs nowadays, but you really can't go wrong with Titans. Next up, we have the Titan Axle Bar. Now, this falls under the category of basic stuff that's hard to mess up. It's basically a pipe with 2 collars on it and a black powder coat. Can't get more basic than that. I like this for grip work when doing deadlifts or rows. Also, it's nice for a bench variation with a fatter grip. And also, it feels a little bit different because there are no rotating sleeves. I also like to pair it with my next item, which is the camber bar attachment. Now, this is a pair of sleeves that can attach to the end of a barbell, and it kind of recreates a cambered bar. I will say it pairs better with the axle bar because there is no bend in the bar, and it can be very unstable when paired with a barbell, even a power bar. So I find it works best with the axle bar or an SSB. Next up, we have the Yukon bar. Now this is a curved barbell, kind of like a bow shape, that is a nice squat variation to give your shoulders a little bit of a break if they're bothering you, or to get a better range of motion at the bottom of your bench press. Now this is something I went with the Titan version for because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a bar I wasn't going to use that often. I only use this as a variation sometimes. So that was my reasoning for going with this one. Just know that the black oxide makes for a pretty passive knurling, and that this bar is very long, coming in at 96 inches. So make sure you do have enough room on either side of your rack for this one. Now all these bars I just showed you store nicely on my next item, which is the Titan Fitness barbell rack. It's a wall-mounted rack with 6 hooks for barbell storage. Now these hooks are lined with UHMW, protecting your barbell from any kind of metal-on-metal contact. And then there's a nice touch with the laser cut T there at the second hook. And as you can see, my barbell wall here, this was an expansion from my 3 barbell storage that is a Cap brand, and it pairs fairly well with it. Now next up we have the 12 to 24 adjustable plyometric box. Now this is one of my early purchases from my gym back when I was building it, and I got it to pretty much serve as a resting place for my power blocks, and then have some extra versatility with, you know, for box jumps, box squats, things of that nature. However, this thing would be pretty unforgiving if you did use it for box jumps, as the edges are pretty sharp. Now this pretty much just is used as a place for me to store my Bluetooth speaker for the gym, and just serves as a little table, but the versatility is still there if I need to pull it out to do seal rows or any other kind of movement. The next item is another adjustable plyo box. Now this is one I mainly bought just for box squats, and I was looking for a square platform with different height options for different height box squats, obviously, but this one turned out to be a bad buy. There was a lot of wobble in this thing, and I think it's due to a design flaw. If you look at the bottom legs and the top legs, there's just too much of a difference in size, which causes a lot of wiggle and a lot of play when you adjust this thing. So I wasn't happy with it. I reached out to customer support, and they asked me to provide them with a short video, which I did, and then they didn't respond to me. So I responded again and still got nothing. Did a third time, still got nothing. So I left a poor review on their website, and basically they said, "Oh, we tried to reach back out to you, but you didn't answer us." Okay, whatever. And then they left me another contact, which I reached out to again and still got nothing. So this is what I'm talking about with Titan support. Sometimes they're great, and sometimes it's frustrating as hell. So all I'm saying is just buyer beware, even with something as simple as this. But honestly, you'd be better off buying some of those cheap stackable plyo boxes you see at the commercial stores. All right, next item is another very basic item, and it's a drag sled. It's something I bought to address my GPP, or my general physical preparedness, and you basically just stack weight plates on it and you drag it either in front of you or behind you. Now I like to take it out to the field in some of the warmer weather we have here in DC, but if you end up not using it very much, you can always tie it to your children so they can't run away from you. Alright guys, that's going to do it for part 1. Make sure you check out part 2 coming out soon, where I cover about 10 more items from Titan Fitness that I bought, and I'll let you know what I think of them doing this kind of mini review format. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, check out part 2 coming out soon. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.